What's going on, guys? Today I just remembered that I forgot to include my personal injury question of the day yesterday on the number 2 vlog. So today, as we start the vlog number 3, I'm going to jump right into what exactly is a deposition, or what is the purpose of a deposition. That is the personal injury question of the day. What is the purpose of a deposition? And long story short, the purpose of a deposition is basically to elicit sworn testimony from the deponent. And the deponent is basically the person who is having the questions asked to them. So what happens in a usual deposition that takes place in a civil case is you'll meet with your attorney and you'll meet with the other person's attorney, and what they'll do is they'll come together. The attorney who basically is holding the deposition will be there to ask you questions or get more background information that you may know about the case that they don't necessarily know. In essence, basically, they're putting you on the stand. Even though it's out of court, the testimony that you give at the time of the deposition can actually be used at the time of trial. So the person who's deposing you will ask you questions, and then your attorney or other attorneys may have a chance to actually cross-examine you after they finish deposing you. So that's the personal injury question of the day. I hope that was pretty clear, and we're going to now get back to the regular scheduled program. So today's vlog, I don't know if you know this or not, but today's vlog, I'm not going to really do too much. I'm not going to shoot any drone shots or anything like that. Just had a new case come in today, attorney referral case. So we'll probably be following that lawsuit shortly. It's a car accident case. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You know, I don't talk about case facts and all that type of stuff in these vlogs. That's just not what I'm going to do. But I do have another case referral today, so that today started off really well. But the purpose of today's vlog is you need to vote. You need to get out and vote. And I mean, this is going to be too late already to really make you act on my advice, because it's going to basically be shot on primary election day. I probably should have talked about this yesterday if I was using any type of forethought. But it's very important to get out and vote, even in primary elections, because you have no impact. I mean, you have no idea the impact that the people you vote for, how much it can affect your daily life. I mean, whether it's, you know, the county clerks or whether it's the judges or whatever have you. But I would like to share a brief story about why I think judges are really important, or why you should really get out and vote. Because although you may not know everyone that's on the ballot, you should try to get to know the people on the ballot who you'll be voting for. Probably a few years ago, when I first started off practicing law, I picked up a case where there was a shooting on a college campus. And I'm not going to go into like the particulars of it all. I'm not going to tell you where the college was and all that. But I did pick up a case where there was a shooting on campus. And so at the time, you know, someone had given an ID to the police, or the campus police. And so immediately after the shooting concluded, the police officers went to the local dorm, and they started to go through the dorm, and they were searching everyone's, personal belongings, and they were going through room by room because there was supposedly a certain gun, the guy looked a certain way, this, that, and the other. Well, my client apparently matched the description of the supposed shooter. Thankfully, video evidence actually showed that it wasn't him. But all this happened, well, some of it happened before, he came to me as a client. But the bottom line of it was he had still committed a felony by possessing a gun on campus. This was before the Texas legislature, they went about trying to change the laws for guns on campus and stuff like that. So he was charged with a felony. And the thing about it is, like I said before, you have to understand that these judges create the tone for the atmosphere in those courtrooms. Now, very rarely, very rarely in criminal cases, can you say that, well, a judge is pro-defendant? I don't think anybody's going to say necessarily to be pro-defendant, but what you do want is a judge, who's going to be, unbiased and just fair on both sides of the table. And, thankfully, the judge that we had in this case was willing to listen to, the arguments that I presented as to why this young man should not, be charged and convicted with a felony. Because the reality of it is that if at the time when this offense occurred, if he had been convicted of a felony, he would have lost all of his financial aid. He would have been kicked out of school. More than likely, many other colleges would not have even admitted him after something like this because of the potential egregiousness of something happening with a gun on campus. So we were able to, get him into a situation where, he had to go on like a little probationary status for about 6 to 7 months, and then the prosecutors dismissed all the charges. So I'm just trying to underscore to you just how important it is to get out and vote, because not only that with the judges, but the prosecutor, the head DA, these people, they determine the tone of things. So if your family has been involved in the criminal justice system, or you've been to someone in the civil court system and you're seeking redress for the wrongs that have been committed to you, the judges are going to play a large part in that. Whether they are willing to, look at all the evidence and say, well, we're gonna look at this and be completely fair and balanced about things. And I think most judges are. I'm not saying, that they aren't on any spectrum, in any category, in any way. So let's not even try to go there and say that I'm trying to paint a picture politically. I'm just simply telling you that it's very important to get out and vote. It's very important to get out and, speak your piece, because when you vote, that is effectively your voice. You are putting your ticket in the hat. And when you don't vote, everyone else around you is basically making the decisions about your life and how the ecosystem politically around you is going to operate. So if you didn't get out and vote today, when the next election comes, you need to take your family, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your uncle, your mother, whoever, and y'all need to go out and vote, because it's very important. And also, the historical factors in all this. Chances are, if you're a person of color, your grandfather or grandmother or great grandmother or mother, maybe even you, couldn't access the complete voting rights, or you may have been deprived of that in some manner. So you need to make sure you are taking advantage of that and actually getting out and voting. You have to try to elect people who are going to be fair and balanced about it all, who are going to be able to see things from both sides. That's what I love about the law. That's what I love about the law. I mean, you know, the funny thing about it was that when I went to law school, I thought that the point of coming to law school was really to delve into how to look at both sides of an argument, because that's what I do. You know, I mean, I'm not someone, even if I have my own opinions, I'm not someone who is quick to judge the thoughts and opinions of others. I am really more of someone who is willing to analyze and think about it before I come to an opinion. But it seems like at least when I went to law school, most people had already kind of chosen their camp. You know, I'm conservative, I'm liberal, I'm this, I'm that. And they were willing to stay there, even if they encountered people who completely wiped out whatever assumption they may have had about the world around them. And that's the thing for me, is that when I encounter new people, my thoughts have evolved. You know, when I went to law school, I was big liberal. I mean, big flaming liberal, you know. But you start to read, and you start to consider some of the thoughts and opinions of other people, and you consider the things that you're ingesting mentally, and it changes some of your opinions. And I think, you know, the reality of it is, I don't really like to get too much into politics, but I have a political science background. Over 70% of Americans today are independents anyways. So I think when you're talking to a jury as a trial lawyer, you know, who are you really trying to address? Are you focusing on, you know, conservative people or liberal people or the independents?
Ryan Little.